Hey everyone, welcome back to Learn English Hub, where we make English not just understandable, but unforgettable. I'm Sally.
And I'm Missy. Today, we're tackling something that might sound a bit serious, but don't worry, we're going to make it fun. Regulations and authority.
Oh yes, all that world of rules, laws, policies, and that mysterious thing called red tape.
Yeah, basically the stuff that tells you what you can and can't do, and somehow still confuses everyone.
Exactly. But English is full of great expressions for talking about it. So by the end of this episode, you'll know how to talk about rules and regulations like a native, and maybe even complain about them like one.
Let's start with how laws actually begin. Governments pass laws, right?
Right. Pass a law means they officially approve it. Like, after endless debates, votes, and cups of coffee, they finally say, yes, this is now a law.
Yeah, you could say the government passed new laws to protect online privacy.
And right after that, they usually introduce regulations. Those are the specific rules under that law.
So the law is the big umbrella, and the regulations are the smaller rules that fit under it.
Exactly. Like a law might say, protect the environment, and the regulation says, don't dump plastic in the river.
Yeah, the practical version.
And this happens all the time, especially in business, health, and technology.
Right, when new technology appears like AI or self-driving cars, governments introduce regulations to make sure people use it safely.
So the next time you hear on the news, the government has introduced new regulations, you'll know what it really means. More paperwork for someone.
Always.
Now, let's talk about standardizing procedures. That's a big one in companies.
Yeah, when you standardize a procedure, you make sure everyone does something the same way.
Like in a hospital, you want doctors and nurses to follow the same steps for emergencies. That's standardizing procedures.
Right. You can't have one doctor saying, I think I'll improvise today.
Definitely not. And once those procedures are in place, people have to adhere to standards.
That means follow the rules closely. I always imagine glue when I hear adhere.
Same here. You stick to the rules, literally.
For example, all food manufacturers must adhere to safety standards.
You could also say comply with standards, but adhere feels stronger, like you really have no choice.
Exactly. Comply sounds more neutral. Adhere sounds more formal and serious.
You'd probably hear adhere to standards in official reports, safety manuals, or health and environment documents.
Yep, anywhere people take procedures very seriously. That brings us to another one, comply with laws. This one's super common, especially in business English.
It just means to obey the law, like all companies must comply with tax laws.
Exactly. And if you don't, guess what? You're in breach of the law.
The scariest phrase in English.
Yes, in breach of the law means you've broken the law, but it's often used in official or legal contexts.
Like the company was found to be in breach of the law for not paying its employees properly.
Right. You wouldn't say that about stealing candy. That's just breaking the law. In breach is more formal.
Exactly. It sounds like something you'd read in the newspaper or your lawyer's email.
Hopefully not. Speaking of lawyers, before companies do anything risky, they usually carry out a risk assessment.
That's a great one. Carry out means do or perform, but it's the natural collocation.
Yeah, no one says do a risk assessment. It sounds odd.
Right, so you might hear, before the event, organizers carried out a risk assessment to ensure safety.
Basically, you look at what could go wrong and try to prevent it.
Exactly. It's all about identifying risks, not waiting for disaster.
And if you skip that, you might infringe the regulations.
That's another formal one. Infringe means to violate or break rules, usually in a professional or legal sense.
Like, the company infringed environmental regulations by dumping waste.
It's a fancy way to say broke the rules, But in business English, it's everywhere.
Yeah, infringe is more about official or technical violations, not everyday ones.
Now, what about satisfy the requirements?
Oh, yeah, that's when you meet the conditions needed for something. Like, to apply for a visa, you must satisfy the requirements.
It's basically the same as meet the requirements, but satisfy sounds more formal.
It's what you see in application forms. Candidates must satisfy all entry requirements.
That phrase always makes me nervous. Like, will I satisfy them or not?
Yeah, same. It sounds like a school exam.
And then there's have an obligation.
Right. That means you're required to do something. Like, employers have an obligation to ensure safety.
It's interesting. Obligation can be legal, but also moral.
Yeah, you could say, we have an obligation to help people in need. That's not law, it's ethics.
Exactly. It's a strong word. It shows responsibility and duty.
Speaking of responsibilities, what happens when people in charge abuse their power?
That brings us to positions of authority.
Right, when someone is in a position of authority, they have official power, like a teacher, a manager, a police officer.
And when they use that power properly, we say they're exercising authority.
Example, the police officer was in a position of authority and exercised his authority to control the crowd.
But it can go wrong. He abused his authority.
True. Authority can build trust or destroy it.
Speaking of destroying things, let's talk about red tape.
Everyone's favorite nightmare.
Yep. Red tape means too many official rules or paperwork that slow everything down.
Like, the project was delayed by government red tape.
And when you cut through the red tape, it means you find a faster, simpler way to get things done.
That's the dream, right? The new manager cut through the red tape to approve the deal.
Exactly. It's positive. You're efficient, not stuck in bureaucracy.
I think every country has its own version of red tape. Maybe not literally red, but definitely tape.
Yeah, blue tape just doesn't have the same ring.
And of course, the people behind that red tape, the faceless bureaucrats.
Oh, that phrase is perfect. It means officials who seem cold, invisible, and obsessed with rules.
Right, like when you're calling customer service and you can't get past the automated voice.
Press 9 to wait forever.
Exactly. Faceless bureaucrats are the people behind the forms and policies. Not bad people, just distant.
And sometimes we wish we could meet them face to face to explain something. But nope, they only exist through emails and stamps. You know, it's funny, some people spend their lives trying to flout the rules, while others work to tighten controls.
Yes, those two phrases really describe opposite attitudes.
To flout the rules means you intentionally ignore them. Like, some companies flout the rules to save money.
It's a bit rebellious.
Totally. But then governments respond by tightening controls, making the rules stricter.
Like, after the financial crisis, they tightened banking controls.
Exactly. It's the constant push and pull between freedom and control.
That's such a good way to end it, the balance between following rules and challenging them.
So today, we went from passing laws and introducing regulations to cutting red tape and dealing with faceless bureaucrats.
Yeah, quite the journey through the world of rules and authority.
If you ever need to sound professional in English, especially in business, politics, or law, these expressions will help you sound fluent and confident.
And if all else fails, just remember to cut through the red tape.
Best advice of the day.
Thanks for tuning in to Learn English Hub.
Don't forget to follow us, leave a review, and check out our other episodes like Plans and Decisions and Travel and Adventure.
See you next time. Stay curious, stay confident, and follow the rules. Most of the time.
Bye, everyone.